20 on our pre-launch towards the launch of the findacoolboss.com platform coming hopefully March. That's what we're looking at, March of 2024. So we're building out this boss talent, boss employee matching platform. It's going to be great. A couple things I want to cover today. This is one thing that's really cool about today's video is it's really just basically walking my talk and when it comes to breaking the chain. So here we are, it's Christmas Eve here, and a lot of people, even when I had to pick up a couple last minute things, I noticed there wasn't a lot of people out there. And I'm like, wow, cool. They're all, where they're going to be and family together and, going to parties and very cool stuff Christmas Eve. And the streets were kind of not crowded at all. So, little surprising, but not. And that kind of goes into I'm like, what am I going to talk about today? There's a couple things I wanted to talk about in terms of what these videos are. Is basically my journey, my journaling up to the launch of this disruptor in the job industry, which will be taking place next year. I believe that it's a big mountain I chose to climb. There's some big players out there, but I'm not looking at them as much as I am listening to people and listening to what they say. And arguably one of the craziest job markets out there now in terms of, you know, is it an employer market? Is it an employee market? Who's got the leverage? Who's right? Is it true that the companies are being too rigid and they want everything and they treat employees like crap? Or is it that employees nowadays want everything? They want their cake and eat it too. So you hear a lot of this negative stuff, and there's a lot of positive stuff too. For yeah, I would say for every negative thing I hear about leadership in a company. And when I say negative, it's not necessarily the person, it's just the culture. When it comes across as just work and it's negative, I can't wait till I get out of work kind of thing. I just believe that we can do better than that. I am fortunate, but yeah, and I said this to a friend of mine. I said, we're fortunate because we're both in the same industry. We both teach martial arts, and basically, actually, it was my sensei that I was talking to, and we meet up quite often over just about every month over the last 30 plus years. And I said, sometimes you can't forget that we are so fortunate that we've been able to. He's been in the industry and teaching and all of that for. I mean, if I've been in it 35 years, he's probably been in it close to 50 years, somewhere around there. So, but we love what we do. We're passionate, not just the training aspect of it, but the ability to make impacts on others. And I think it's either in you or it isn't. People do martial arts for different reasons, and even instructors for different reasons. But I mean, the best instructors, like any type of instructor in any industry, um, you can tell if they're really into it. And I said, we're fortunate that we get to work out, for our job. We get to help people. We get to enjoy what we're doing. And he said, well, yeah, sure, we're fortunate, but, you earned it. You worked for it. So no different than somebody that has a lucrative career that they went to college, they had to go to college and they went through schooling for 4, 8, whatever years, even more, doctors and stuff, all the sacrifice. They're not lucky to have that job. They may get some lucky breaks, but like they say, the luck comes with the hard work. The harder you work, the more lucky you get. So nobody's like, oh, just lucky. They've been put in those situations and handed opportunities, but not necessarily get the work done for them. We all have opportunities. Even the people that say, "Oh, nothing ever good happens to me," and "Oh, I wasn't as fortunate," or whatever. You have to learn. If your radar is out on how everything's bad and negative, nothing good happens for you, and you're just a victim, you're going to get more of it. You're asking the universe for an answer. You're going to get more of it. But if your radar is out and you're looking for good, positive opportunities, then don't be surprised when you start getting all these opportunities popping into your life, thoughts in your head, which create actions. If you take action, nothing magically appears for you, I believe. And I think the most successful people will tell you, look, it's not magic. The luck comes with the hard work. But either way, so here we are. We're on day 20. About a third into the I guess you could say pre-launch, but a lot of it's been preliminary. I mean, I've been going out doing, networking events. It's gonna be a lot more. Being it that we started at the end of the year, it was a little difficult and challenging getting people involved. And even though I was telling people, look, if you're a business owner or a business leader, don't wait until the first week of January to start saying this is the changes we're gonna make this year. Um, if you follow what I suggested, you've been doing that the last couple months. Well, maybe all along, but last couple months, you can get that little head start on your competition if you started it towards the end of the year. I don't, once again, I don't particularly believe in New Year's resolutions. I think what makes a New Year's resolution powerful or effective at all is if it's just a date where you decide to make a decision. And that's the problem nowadays. People are, so many people are indecisive, and they just don't make that decision. And the decision means to cut off all other opportunities, all other options, and just I decide. I do it quite a bit. I learned to do it over the years, um, and I guess you could call it a hack. It's you decide what day it is, what date, what day, when's this going to start, and then you prepare yourself. You get all the visual cues, the physical cues involved, meaning if it's a fitness thing, make sure you make it as easy as possible to start the process. Meaning, if you're going to work out, get your new outfits. Feel good about getting new outfits. Make sure you have your workout in your head or written down, and you got a workout journal or whatever. I use a calendar. I print them out on my computer every month. Just a simple little calendar, and I write down what my workouts out throughout the week. I write them down ahead of time, just the titles of them, if it's legs or arms or chest, what have you. And then I just make an X, and I can't wait to check off that X every time I do it. And I mean, I got to stack this thick of workouts over the years, and I look back and you count them, you go, holy crap, that's a lot of working out to do. It's just wild how little things add up to big things. I see it all the time at the karate school, where a student will come in, whether it's an adult or a child, and I'll tell them, I go, this is the beginning of your journey. I've seen it thousands of times. I've seen people go from the very start all the way up, and they haven't, and you can't forget that most people haven't seen it. They don't know what you know through your experiences. And then here we are, you fast forward to 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, when maybe when they're getting ready to become a black belt and go through the qualifications, and you just say, hey, I remember when you first started. You're like, oh my god, it went by so fast. It's unbelievable. And that's because they learned how to set and achieve the goals, but they learned other things, such as chunking down the material, or creating routines, and therefore creating habits, and make it as easy as possible to get the work done. And I think that's where a lot of people make the mistake. They don't prepare. They don't make that decision. And you get, this is time for another video, but what is your why? Why are you doing it? You always will fight harder for a why than you will for the what. Just like, parents that do miraculous types of physical feats of strength when they have to save children, stuff like that. It's just, when you think you can, you're not going to do it physically unless you already mentally have done it. And that's, I think people try to physically do it and then mentally try to catch up. So that being said, we are on day 20, and today I was able to go back to journaling my journey, because I want you to be able to look at these videos. And just starting a YouTube channel, you got very few viewership, but people will go back and say, what was it like at the very beginning? And I want them to see these, and that's sometimes why I repeat things, when people only saw one video or what have you. But it's so little right now. It's like I'm building the roots under the ground right now. This is a massive thing. I mean, everybody I talk to, both sides of the table, meaning business, bosses, companies, and then on the other side, employees, talent, job talent, that side of the table. Everyone's like, wow, this is really cool. Wow, that's what the bosses want: high performing people that love to do their best for the company, and employees want a company that supports them and helps grow their career, and really helps develop them and appreciates them and they really feel vested that and that they're making a contribution in the company. So I'm talking to everybody, and they're like, "Wow, this is like nothing like what you see." It's not like the big sites like Indeed or what have you, ZipRecruiter, which are focusing a lot. It's just kind of like a massive amount of potential opportunities, but it's so massive, maybe not so effective for most people. This is a way to be much more targeted. So I'll talk more about vision in the future, but what I see in a very broad nutshell here is I see findacoolboss.com being a platform that it's going to explode, as we get more and more companies involved and we get that whole trend going about companies stepping it up and being proud to be, what I would call the coolest bosses ever, meaning, we take care of our people, we grow them, we support them, we develop them, we listen to them, we take feedback from them, they help us innovate and make big things. I mean, yes, I know some business leaders will be saying, "Oh, that's fantasy land. They don't understand. They don't get it. They don't," and that's fine. And some of them, a lot of them, I would call a freaking boss hole. I mean, treat people like that. Come on. And you see Scrooge-based movies now at this time of year, and you're like, oh my God, they're all boss holes at the beginning, and then when they see the effect they have in a negative way on people, they don't. Wow, they didn't get it, and then all of a sudden they transform, and that's what we want to do. That Scrooge effect. We want to take companies that have good people, they're good people that run them, but not necessarily effective leaders, and let them see the light and say, look, here's some really down to earth, simple, not necessarily easy, but simple, leadership strategies and skills, whether it's emotional intelligence, communication, transparency, feedback, all of these different very impactful type of leadership characteristics, and make them aware of them, and then help strengthen them and build them up until they get to what we call the level of coolest boss ever. Then you become a boss magnet, meaning you are a boss that is like a magnet to the top talent. So don't bitch and moan when your competitors are getting all the good players, the superstars. And if you think you're just going to pay for them, if you do get someone that way because you just outbid everybody else, well, then don't be surprised when they turn their back on you down the road when someone offers them more money. Do you really want that in your company? That's up to you. So that being said, it all starts at the beginning, but breaking the chain, and I'll finish with this on this video. Breaking the chain is all about not letting that chain break in the middle of creating a habit and a routine. And so when I started doing these videos, I said, look, I'm going to do them all the way to Christmas Eve, and I'm going to reward myself a new camera, or a new phone, where I can use best phone out there that I can use for shooting videos and stuff. But I got to deserve it. I got to earn it. So I got to go every day without missing a day. And this is what, about 3 weeks ago. So I got to go every day without missing a day to shoot videos and upload them. And here we are, Christmas Eve. I've done it. So, I mean, we all know it's better to give than to receive, and so I'm going to give myself that reward because I earned it. 20 days in a row of doing YouTube videos might not sound like a lot to some people, but I'll tell you what, I've been trying for years to start a YouTube channel to share what I'm up to, because creating a lot of really national and international programs for people in terms of physical empowerment and things like that. But I never did it. And when I mentioned to my 23-year-old daughter about, hey, subscribe to my channel. Oh, what do you talk about? I said, well, it's business stuff, so you know. But anyway, subscribe. Wow, that makes another subscriber. And she said, well, you know what? It comes down to the main thing. And the main thing is consistency. And I said, I know. And so here we are. So don't break the chain. And that's why I'm sitting here Christmas Eve when everyone's getting ready to go out and eat and have fun and be merry. I've just got to get this last video in because I am not going to break that chain. So when you set a goal, make the decision. When's it going to start? Where are the milestones? And don't break the chain, no matter if it's Christmas Eve or whatever. You got a headache, you don't feel good. Somehow, some way, get it down. You will build confidence. You will build self-trust. And when you can hit it on days that are really hard to get the work done. I mean, I've gone the last 3 weeks. There were times where I was uploading, at right before midnight or shooting right before midnight. I'm like, but I can't break that chain. It's such a powerful technique. It was one of those books, one of the habit books that I got it from years ago. I hear it, people every once in a while pop up, hey, did you read that book? And Atomic Habits is one, and there's some others really, really good. Nothing magical, but so powerful. I guess that's what makes it magical. Um, but that being said, tomorrow I got to shoot another one. Once again, one of the most, you know, one of the most popular days in the year of spending with time and with family and just chilling on Christmas Day. But I'll get it done because to me, it's about giving. This platform is all about giving. That's the time of season. You know, Christmas is really about what it feels like to give, not so much receive. As we get older, I think we cherish that more and more. Give, give, give. I like to give all throughout the year, and I think building this platform will allow me to give to more people in this world than I've ever dreamed of. I think that's awesome. And what am I giving? Am I giving them a job? No. Does a real estate agent, a really good realtor, do they give, sell houses? No, they sell homes. They sell a way of life. They sell memories. And what I'm doing is building a platform for the world that I believe people are going to want it. They're going to like, wow, this could help me get the job of my dreams. That's because I'm going to be doing it most of my life. And for companies, it's like, wow, we're finally attracting the right people and everybody's happy. And ultimately, that would be great. There's going to be challenges, and it's not going to be for everybody. If you're, in your heart a boss hole and you don't care, then, good luck. And but at least we can make the people out there that are looking for good bosses. They want to work for the coolest boss ever, and I think most people do. We can give them hope that look at you can find the right company out there. You can find them. It's my job to get the right bosses on board right away. Till then, have a great holiday and holiday season, and I will see you next video.